Hello, everybody. I hope you are all doing fantastic. I hope you are watching this video because you enjoy watching how progress can be made when you budget, when you cash stuff, how you can reach certain goals, how also life can also just fluctuate, and sometimes you're making progress and sometimes you have setbacks. And if you are new, please consider subscribing. I would love to do a giveaway when I reach 300 subscribers. I keep kind of edging up and then I keep dropping down in subscribers, so maybe I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But I hope that you'll stick around, as the only way you can win a giveaway is by being subscribed. And if you are new, I am Deidre. I'm in my mid to late 30s. I work full time in Canada, and I just appreciate you being here. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. You sort of know the drill, and most of you have your own channels, or you're doing sort of the same things even if you don't have a channel. So yeah, today I am going to be reviewing all of my sinking funds. Now, if you don't know what a sinking fund is, it is a fund in which you use to save for something. It could be a goal, it could be a future expense. In my case, I have some that fluctuate sort of every single month that I put money in, I take money out of, and then some are more long-term goals, and then some are sort of like short, medium goals, or I'm putting money away and I use it as I need it, and it's in an account or in an envelope, and then I use it as I need it. So yes, we are going to get into that today. It is going to be my September count up of all of my sinking funds. Now, I do have my laptop off to the side. I do keep track on an Excel spreadsheet, as it just does the math for me. It's so much easier. I do have some online only accounts. There's nothing ever going to be in a binder for that. So I will let you know about those when those come around. I do know that I am going to be down quite a bit as I purchased my winter tires. Well, my parents had to purchase my winter tires through Costco because they're the one that has the Costco membership. Costco is the one that had my preferred winter tires, plus they had a promo code on. So I got $100 off instantly. The tires have been ordered. They're not here yet, but when they are here, they'll get installed on my rims, and then I will help my dad install the tires onto my vehicle. But I did save quite a bit of money. That's why I went with the Costco route. So I just paid my parents back. So that is what I did. I just transferred the money to their account. So I know I am down quite a bit, but I was saving up for my winter tires. I'm glad I got a very good deal on them. So now we're just gonna continue boosting up for more car maintenance that I'm sure will happen. So first, I'm actually gonna start out with my month ahead binder, which I don't typically do, but I just wanna get this out of the way. For anybody who is new, my month ahead, I'm saving up. Well, I'm almost at one month of all of my regular expenses, but my goal is to probably get 2 months. What I plan to do is, I own a condo right now. I want to buy a different place to live, as my condo board does not allow pets in our building, and I would like to have a dog. I am a dog lover. My family has dogs. I spend time with my parents' dog all the time, and I want to be in a place where I can have the family pets over, but as well as get my own dog. So my plan is to sell my current place after I purchase a different place, and I would use the money in this account to help pay for some regular bills instead of having to use my paycheck to pay all of them. So I have already saved quite a bit, and I have fully funded many different categories already. And so that is why I say I'm going to be hopefully working on the second month starting next year. My goal will be to get the 2 categories I have left done and started on the next round. So we have $60 saved up for cell phone, $60 in gas. I don't drive very far, and I suspect when I purchase my new place, it won't be too far. It will probably be either closer to my parents. Well, I have a feeling it will be closer to my parents anyways, and I drive a small SUV, so it doesn't cost very much. I just have a note in here. My car insurance is going up, so I do need to save an extra $10 in here to get it for 1 month. That's rounded up, but right now it has 80 in there. $100 for groceries, which would probably just be like some you know, basics, most likely. 130 for my property taxes. Now this is property taxes on my condo for a month. My internet and cable bill, and rounds up to 180. I would have to pay condo fees, which this will most likely change come the new year as the condo fees go up every year, but that's 460 saved in there, and that is rounded up. And then we have my mortgage, and we have it all on an online account, by the way, and these are placeholders. And so we have 2,350 in mortgage. So we have a total of $1,420 saved for a month ahead, which is really great. I'm quite pleased with that. I am treating this as a bill, so it gets money every single paycheck that just gets transferred into that account. So that is why it, at the end of August, it had $1,320 in there, which is accurate, as I put $50 a paycheck. So it's $100 up in there, which is awesome. So now normally I go into sort of my, I would call it like revolving binder, but I'm going to start out with sort of the sinking funds that either have nothing in them or just don't get used very often. Oh, no, wrong one. I always use this one. That was what I was meaning. That's the one I use all the time. I'm going to go into this binder. So, home insurance has absolutely nothing in here. This is condo insurance. It is, I paid it in July, I believe, and I'm going to start fully funding it starting in October. What I like to do for certain things like home insurance, like my AAA registration, car registration, I like to fully fund it sort of as fast as I can. That way it's not part of my monthly budget, and I know I have the money to draw on when I need to draw on it. So it has nothing in there, but it will start to get some money, and it had nothing at the end of August. My renewals, which is my AAA and my car registration, at the end of August had 200 in there. Each one is roughly about $100, and my vehicle registration is due in September. I have it auto renew, and it came to just around $100, and so I took out the money and paid my credit card with it, so we have $100 in there. So we are less than $100 in this account. However, I am going to fully fund this in October, so it will be built back up, and my AAA registration, I think, is due at the end of April. Subscriptions, I only pay for Netflix. I get Disney Plus actually with my cable and internet subscription. I canceled my Amazon Prime. I only pay for Netflix, and I pay for the one with ads, as I don't watch it a ton, and the ads are what they are. I want to have the lowest price package. And I do have Sirius XM. I listen to it while I'm working, and I do listen to it in my vehicle, and I pad it. I got a really good deal. I got $5 a month for 2 years, and that was in July of 2024, and so I put $60 basically to cover 12 months towards my credit card, so it charges every month. And I don't know what I'm going to do next year. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to keep it or not, but I will kind of decide that in the new year. But if I do decide to keep it, I will fully fund it really quickly, and then I will always work to get a deal. So I always try and get $5 a month. If they don't offer me that, I essentially just say thanks but no thanks. The thing with some of these companies is like, then like a month or two later, because I know this from experience from my parents and my sister, when you're like, no, I'm not going to pay what your $20 or $30 a month, you're like, no, I want to get it for $5. A month later, 2 months later, they send you something in the mail wanting you to come back for that price. So yeah, I don't mind playing hardball on things like that. So next up is health. So this is like a health buffer, and I do get most of my prescriptions reimbursed to me. So what I pay, I usually get reimbursed. My physio that I go to, if I go to chiropractor, I do dental. My vision is piss poor for benefits. I can get my eyes checked once every 2 years, and I can get reimbursed for $150 worth of prescriptions or contact lenses. And I do wear one contact lens. My one eye is pretty good. My other eye is decent, but it does need a little correction. So I don't wear my glasses really ever, but $150 for glasses or contact lenses in Canada is an absolute joke. Like, you can barely get frames sometimes for $150. So so yeah, in dental, I can go once a year, get my teeth cleaned, I can get, you know, any fillings I need, etc. So my benefits are like okay in some areas and not so great in others, but this health buffer is typically, I need to start using it towards the end of the year when I'm not being reimbursed. So I actually might have to take some money out of this for upcoming physio, as I won't be reimbursed. So so yeah, we'll see. At the end of August, I had $15 in here, and now I have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And I actually might swap out some of those fives for some notes later, but that's okay. We'll just leave it for now. So it is up $40 in there, which is great. Travel is future travel, way in the future. It is definitely not a priority of mine. I have other goals right now. And also, just living in Canada, it costs an arm and a leg to travel anywhere. Our country is incredibly vast, and I would love to see a lot of our country, but if you're driving, it would take multiple days to go from even the prairies to the East Coast. Just kind of the way you have to drive, especially kind of into Ontario. You can't just like drive across it because of the Great Lakes. So yeah, I would love to see a lot of Canada, especially the East Coast. But yeah, travel is not a super priority right now, but it is something I do fund a little bit. So at the end of August, I had $90 in here, and because it did get some money from some savings challenges in September, it is sitting at $150. That is just in an online account. If God forbid I needed money for something and the emergency fund didn't cover it and I had to dip into funds, travel would be one I would dip into. So that's up $60, which is great because it is a slow builder. Next up is called Date Night, but it's actually, I've been using this for yoga classes for myself. They're put on through my city's rec program. I have the first round that I'm doing, and I say first round because I'm not sure if I'm going to do the second round, but it starts in October. I've already paid for it, and so if I want to do the second round, which moves into November into December, spoiler, I do not love driving in the winter. My city does not clear the roads very well. They're usually if there's been a lot of snow, lots of ice built up at intersections because people spin their tires or they can't get traction. They don't lay enough rock and salt down, like sand down. It's the other drivers I'm worried about. It's not my driving. I am a very cautious driver even in the summertime. As I've had absolutely no tickets, no accidents. We better knock on wood when I say that, since I was 16 years old. So, so over 2 decades. So I worry more about other drivers than I do myself. As drivers, I don't know where you're from. If they're like this, let me know down below. They drive crazy when the road conditions are fantastic, and it's like it's winter time and there's snow and there's ice and you have to take longer to stop, and not every vehicle has to have winter tires. I am not located in British Columbia where you have to have winter tires on. People run all seasons. People are using their summer tires for long. They're just not well equipped to drive in the winter, and yeah, accidents. So I don't love to go out if I don't have to in the winter time. Like, I'll do some errands and stuff, but I try to kind of do it either on the weekend or when I go into the office. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do yoga for that round or not, but if I do, the money will come from here. So we have 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70. So that is enough for the next round. I believe the next round after would be 60, I believe. So if I do want to, there's money in here. But if I wanted to go see a comedian and I wanted to buy a ticket, I would use the money from here. If there was a concert like that, I mean, concerts are absolutely astronomical, but if there was one kind of in my city that the tickets didn't cost a lot to go to, if I wanted to go, I would use money from that. So it's just kind of whatever I want to use it for. Next up is furniture for a future place. We had $20 in here, I believe, Just trying to find it on my spreadsheet. Yes, we had $20 at the end of August, and we still have 20 in there. Again, it's very low priority right now, so it will eventually get some more money, but appliances has got absolutely nothing. Sort of, again, future appliances, nothing right now. And yeah, it's had nothing for a while. New vehicle is earmarked for a new vehicle. I shouldn't need a new vehicle. My goal is for at least a minimum of another 5 years. I haven't had too much bad luck with my vehicle. My dad is very handy, so any repairs that have needed to be done, I've just paid for the parts and I've helped him fix it. Like regular oil changes, my dad will do them for me, as I had a horrible experience when I went and took it to the dealership and had it done. So I kind of have been avoiding getting them to ever do them. We've just done some small little repairs here and there. I don't drive very far. In the span of a year, I might put on 6,000 kilometers on my vehicle, which is incredibly low. So my goal is to keep it for at least another 5 to 10 years. But I do want to slowly start saving up for a new vehicle. And my plan in the new year is to put money every paycheck still towards car maintenance, but put money towards a new vehicle. So it will be a very slow builder. So it had absolutely nothing last month, but it has 5, 10, 15, 20 in there. So it's up $20. So I have the envelope, but as you can see, I have this amazing tracker from Iris Budgets. I got her to do it up for $1,000, but obviously I know that I would need more than $1,000 to get a new vehicle. So yes, this will be done many times, but I absolutely love it, and I just love the visual of it. I have a category for maintenance. This will be home maintenance for a new home, most likely, as just the condo I live in doesn't require much maintenance. And if there actually is something wrong, it might typically be covered by the condo board itself. We have some pipes that have sometimes burst within inner walls. So that is then covered by the condo board, as it's just sort of, it just sort of happens sometimes. So that is that for that binder. And then we're moving on to our binder that gets used, money put in, money comes out all the time. So we have, actually, I'm going to start out with my online accounts because I have the numbers entered, but there you'll never see anything ever in an envelope. So the first one I have is a vehicle. I just call it vehicle. I think it's for obviously vehicle maintenance, anything related. If I have to buy, it's not for gas, but if I need to buy windshield washer fluid, if I need to buy windshield wipers, if I need to buy the oil to get my oil changed, obviously I've used it for my tires, that kind of thing is what it gets used for. So at the end of August, I had $1,199.80 in here. It does get a little bit of interest, but because it's online, when I buy something, I just then put into my checking account or pay towards my credit card the exact amount. That's why it's not an even amount. And at the end of September, I have $166.58. This gets money transferred to it every single month, actually every single payday. And so it did get the $100 that I do put in there, but my tires I did purchase, so it is down over $1,000. But I was saving up because I knew I needed my tires, and yeah, we're just gonna keep saving, keep building. So I'm not too upset with it. So yes, we are down over $1,000 in that account, but it was planned for, and that is why I love it. Really, cash budgeting and cash stuffing has changed my life, because the old me, and I mean like even at the beginning of my budgeting journey, which was probably about 5 years ago now, never could have imagined just saving up for something like car maintenance and then tires, and then being able to just purchase tires with absolutely no worry in the entire world that it's paid for. So I highly recommend doing this. Next up is household, which is an online account, and it's meant for sort of anything household: toilet paper, dishwashing detergent, if I needed to buy new sheets, which I have had to purchase one time, things like that. It gets money every paycheck, and it gets put into an online account. So at the end of August, it had $40.24. It's been used quite a bit for some printer ink cartridges and stuff, but at the end of September, it had $43.43. It did get money, and it did get money taken out, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what I bought, but it did get money and it did get used, so that's why it didn't really change too much. Next up is Christmas. I save for Christmas. Every single paycheck, money gets put into an account starting in January, and then if I see something that I want to buy for somebody, say in July, I can purchase it then because I have the money. It has been my 3rd year, I believe, of doing it this way, and it works incredibly well for me, so you will never see me doing Christmas in July or stuffing money into a Christmas envelope just because I do it online. But I highly recommend saving for Christmas as soon as you can, because it happens every year, and if you celebrate it, it's one less thing you have to stress about. So at the end of August, I had $340.66 in here, and at the end of September, I have $380.86. I do not have a huge family. I have two siblings. I have a mother and a father, which are still married. I have a brother-in-law. I have obviously family pets that I like to buy little things for. I have a couple of friends. I have a friend's 2 boys that I like to buy gifts for, but I don't go crazy. I do not spend like crazy. I like to give meaningful gifts rather than splashing out a huge amount of money. So I love to give my friend books for her boys, and I buy them usually secondhand. I make sure that they're in very good condition. She appreciates it because people buy the toys that make noise and all of that, and they can, read the books themselves, and they can also have the books read to them. I, sometimes buy her like little gifts or like little things I know that she'll use, or even like take her out for lunch as part of the gift. So yeah, I really, if you love to spend a huge amount of money, or you have a huge family, that is, hey, that's you. That's your life. I just am not somebody that's going to be spending a ton on Christmas. My parents also host Christmas. I don't need to bring anything, but I do help make all the meals. So that's kind of how I contribute. So next up is hair. I just actually had my hair done recently, and I get my hair done every 9 to 11 weeks or so, and I pay for it in cash. At the end of August, I had $80 in there, and now I have 10, 20, 25, 30, and my appointments cost me $75. That includes tax and tip. Don't get anything super crazy done with my hair. So next up is nails. Nails are going to be actually done here pretty quick, but at the end of August it had 30, and it has 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I get those done every about 4 to 5 weeks. I pay cash for that. My appointment is $30, and I have an amazing esthetician. I have known her for like over 15 years, and I would consider her a friend. So technically there was no change in nails, but it did get money. But then I had an appointment, actually I believe right at the beginning of September. Yes, so that's why. Next up is beauty. At the end of August it had nothing, but it has 10, 15, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40. So it is up $40. I do have a Sephora gift card in there that I plan to use. I got that for my birthday. Next up is clothes. Clothes at the end of August had nothing, and it has 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Some of these got some extra boost because of some savings challenges, Q3 savings challenges, so they got boosted up. Next up is technology. Always got to save for technology. Still don't know if I'm going to get an iPad or not, or just continue to save for when I need to replace my laptop. So it has 300 in there, and at the end of August it had 240, so it is up 60, which is great. I've actually been making this a priority too. It gets money like every single paycheck, even if it's a little bit. So pets, as I said earlier, I do not have any pets, but this is working towards a future pet. So this is getting money every paycheck ever since I've been debt-free. I became debt-free at the end of April this year, not including my mortgage. So it has $350 in there, and I know that because I wrote it, but it's all in prop money. It's all in placeholders. At the end of August, it had $275, so it is up $75 in there, which is great. Next up is a new home. I'm obviously working towards saving for a new place to live. This will probably be legal fees, maybe moving costs, not too sure, but it has $350 in there, and it had $250 at the end of August, so it's up $100, which is great. Gifts has nothing, and it has had nothing. All the birthdays and everything were done in my family. Ours are all in the summertime. This is gonna get some love pretty soon once I finish up a mini challenge, so I don't worry about putting too much money in here. So until kind of, you know, maybe March or April, then I kind of start putting money, because obviously Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then birthdays. So next up is giving. I like to give, but I don't just give monetarily. I give of my time to a charity every single year. So yes, and I do make this a priority as well. For me, that's what I choose to do. I'm blessed, so I like to be able to help out where I can. At the end of August, it had 35, and it has 10, 20, 30 in here. So it's down 5, but that's because I did make a donation. And usually I like to make a donation or give to people when it's usually over $20, because it just works for me. But hey, you do you. Next up is my emergency fund, which I am super proud. I made this kind of like, I treat it like a bill. It gets money every paycheck put into a separate account, and it has $1,100 in there. And at the end of August, it had just hit the $1,000 mark, which I'm super happy about. And I have a similar tracker to the vehicle one from Iris Budgets, and it is for $1,000. My goal is to at least get another 1,000, but obviously just never stop, because you just always need money for something, it just seems like. So in emergencies just are not getting any cheaper. So last but certainly not least, we are going to look at one binder. I do have 2 binders. They're both from Iris Budgets. The one is a 1K. I'm going to be using this next year. I'm going to be putting money into it, and then what I will be doing is putting that money into my retirement account as to like give it like a good boost. So this binder I'm using to save. I will plan to finish it twice. This binder, if you are new, I am doing it because I'm going to have surgery. I had surgery this past June. I had surgery on one side, and I need to have surgery on the other side. Now I don't have a scheduled surgery date. My surgeon wants me to obviously heal very well on the one side, and because I will be on disability, this time I was lucky enough I wasn't on disability. Even though I was off for 3 months, I had enough sick time to cover that. I will not obviously have enough sick time because it took me like over a decade to build that up working where I work. So I will be bringing home less money. Now I've kind of roughly worked out, and I've talked to somebody I know, so I kind of have an idea when surgery happens, I will need to cover that difference in pay, and I will not be funding a lot of things like I am right now. Like I won't be putting as much money towards things, but I will use this money to help cover the difference. And if I don't need all of it, then I will probably put it towards either emergency or new vehicle. Like we'll put it somewhere if I don't need it. So this binder saves $500. I'm not going to go through and count it. I'm just going to go through and count what I have left of stuff. And my goal is to get this finished before the end of the year, and I would love to start it again and maybe get like, you know, a third of the way done before the end of the year, because I'm so close, and it gets money every single paycheck because I do savings challenges. So I need 140, but there is some money in here in the front envelope, so I am going to count it. So I'm going to take off 20, 30, 40, 45, because when I finish this amount, which saves 50, and this is also from Ira's budget, then this money will then get put into the envelopes. So it says I need 95. I'm just going to double check that. So I need 95, so I would have 405, which I'm just going to put down, but I think that might be wrong. So let me just recount. For some reason, I feel like that might be off, but it could be. It could just be I was thinking something else. So 15, 15, and 20. Nope, that's correct. Okay. So I have $405 in this binder, which is awesome. That is so great. We are so close. Hopefully, actually by the end of October, we can get this fully done. Then I can throw that money into the bank and start on another round. So that is everything. Everything is counted. I do not count up savings challenges, minis, or other savings challenges, because when I finish that challenge, that money gets redistributed. So across all categories, at the end of August, I had $5,235.70. Now, bear this in mind. This does not include my checking account. It does not include my property tax account. So there's some accounts, and I like TFSAs and my RSPs. It does not include that. This is just sinking funds. At the end of September, I am down, but that's okay, because I know the reason, those tires. So I am at $4,990.87. So just shy of $5,000. So while I am down, money actually has gone into a lot of places. So I'm super, super happy. I am just always so impressed with, just doing this. It just has made an absolute difference in my life. If you have made it to this point, which I really hope you have, I hope that you'll leave me a dollar sign or a money bag or something like that, so that I know that you got here. I appreciate you being here. I hope this inspires you, and if you are doing this, I hope this just keeps you motivated to keep on keeping on. And my next video, I believe you will see, will be probably my cash stuffing for my first paycheck in October. So I'll catch you on that one. Bye, everybody.